Welcome, welcome. I'm Dee, and this is the Unguided Life where I am taking it one day at a time, bring you guys along for the journey to hold me accountable as I budget my way through life. We need to close out April budget. Yes, we need to close it out. We had some technical difficulties with the weekly check-in number 4, but we're gonna try to make this very short and sweet. So it says, trust your identity, be in touch with your reality. Hmm. Okay. We marinate on that for just a little bit and let's talk about this. So as always, I use the monthly budget overview category view as a way to compare what I plan to go into these categories and what actually happened. Now for May, this budget overview sheet looks totally different because now I have the option so you can see the total income and total expenses for both the budgeted and the actual versus right now we just have the budgeted amount here and we put what we actually received here. In order to do this, first we need to make sure that everything else is closed out. So here's the monthly budget overview detail sheet, and this has my goals on it. We have been discussing my goals for the last 2 weeks because they've already been checked off. We right now are determining what we need to do in May to reach our long-term and short-term financial goals. So when I do my budget income breakdown, we'll be able to determine that. So we can move this aside because everything is checked. So we do need to close out the spending record. And as you can see, the only thing left is in gas. And simply what I'm going to do is transfer the $19 to May's budget. So when I do my income breakdown, you'll see that reflected as rollover. So same thing here. We're going to close out. So I'm just going to put transfer to May gas budget. So that is done. And then we need to close out our sinking fund. So let's go ahead and we're going to bring our calculator. So for me, myself, and I, we started with 135. We added 50. We spent 66. Then we spent 100. Then we added 100. And then we spent 57. And then we spent 12. So that leaves us with $50. Then for Savannah, we started with 267. We added 50. We minus 7. Second week, we didn't spend or add anything. The third week, we added 50, but we also spent 20. And then we spent 192. Oh, so that definitely is wrong. Let's do that again. Minus 7 plus 50 minus 20 minus 192. So it leaves us with 168. And we're just going to make sure I did that right. Minus 7 plus 50 minus 20 minus 192. See? So I had to do it again. That's 148. I must have skipped 20 last time. We're going to do it again one more time before we switch to our digital format. And then, because I do close out paper budget as well as I close out my digital format. So that's 148. So Sandlot was 100, then we minus 100, and then we added 25, and 25 is what we have in there. The challenges, we just been added, so 30 the first week, nothing the second week, 20 the third week, so that's 50, and then the fourth week was 50, so that's that $100 there. So we have that. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to switch over to the digital format, and we're going to just go through that and making sure everything is aligned up and balance before we proceed with the monthly budget overview category closeout. Okay? All right, y'all. I'll see y'all over there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this over with. So when it came to giving, it was $398 total. My insurance is $290. Car note is $228. So for credit card number one, and I do need to pull out my my detail view. So for credit card number one, it was 200. Credit card number two, it was $98. Credit card number three, I placed in the budget $29, but as we know, I didn't need that, so that is zero. And for credit card number four, it was $94. Electric was the same. Internet was $35 because I had that credit. Life insurance is actually 38. OnStar is 16. The phone bill is 169. Rent is 800 now, and I said I was gonna come and update this, but I didn't, y'all. It's fine. Rent insurance is paid for the year, so we don't have to worry about that. Storage is the same. Student loans D is the same. Student loans E is not due until the end of August or September, something like that. TV subscriptions. So I did decrease the Netflix. There's no longer cable, so this is actually $35. $35 total. Valuable personal property insurance that's paid for the year. The water bill is actually $39. The extra debt payment was $460. Miscellaneous was $128, I believe. We'll go with 128 if it's either 128 or 129. Gym membership was 25. No annual subscriptions, and I have been eating. This is like the next day or two when I'm recording this, and I'm in a rush always, y'all. Nothing to the emergency fund. Envelope system was actually $520, and the sinking funds was $583. Um, let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's 29. It was $100 for the, what do you call it? Why am I drawing a blank? I'm always drawing a blank. It was $100 for the taxes, and then the $29 from the credit card. So that's $129. Okay, so that's $4,326 that I allocated in the month of April, or in April's budget, should I say. So let's look at the income. If I didn't make any changes to my income, I would have been short $482. So let's talk about the income itself. So for income source number one, which is from my employer, I actually do need to calculate that here. It was 2043, and I believe it was. That's why it's great to have paper and pen records that I can reference. Um, 2043 was in 1989. That was the first one. 1989. So that's 4032. And then for income source number two, which is the stipend, that is 153. And then for the variable expenses, it was the I want to say 148, because it was $10 from rollover, and then $138. So okay, so what's going on here? 4,000. Yeah, it was 148. I'm sure of that because it was a stipend, and then I received a $138 bonus. So where's the $7 coming from? Okay, let me back. Let me see what's going on here. Go back to the expenses. So something's off, and we don't like things to be off. So I said that I have given, since that's the first thing, at 398. So let me just check. 190, 190 and 215. Let's look at that. 190 plus 215. That's 405. Why do I have 398 minus 390? Oops, that's 398. Okay. Well, this is what is $7. So I say that I have $398 to give. Why do I only have 398? So I do my standard giving to one particular organization. Okay, so that's up to 3. So I know I sent $30 the first check towards this separate giving. This was to someone. So that's 350. And then 215 minus 160. I'm sorry. I gotta do this, but that was at $55. So 55. Ah, got it. So I know what happened. What happened was I allocated a certain amount to the second paycheck. Was the second, right? Yeah, the second paycheck. I allocated a certain amount to it. And what actually happened is I did not have to spend the whole amount. So this was a gift I was buying for someone. So that's where that money is at. So I have $7 rollover from the giving. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, where is that $7? Okay, so let me scroll down here because I still only $398 went towards giving for the April budget. $7 is hanging on in the wind. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to throw the $7 here in a sinking fund and then just carry that over to May budget because it just so I just won't forget. So a little I can give extra a little bit more to someone in May. So let's do $590. That gets me where I need to go. Okay, y'all look at there. Sometimes it happens. I try my best to um account for everything. So, and like I said, that my budget close is always a little wonky. I'm glad that it was something as simple as that I just totally forgot. And that's because the money didn't move out of my main account. And as money coming in, I really don't look at it often to make sure that um, everything is going out well. I want to say that. So I have a main account, and that's where all the money, most of the money goes in. And then I allocate money going out, and it's nothing attached, no bills. I don't have the card for it, so it's nothing attached. So after I do my transfers and send the Zales into the various different accounts that I have for the different categories, I don't go back into that main account because nothing else is going to pull from it. No one knows that information but I in the bank itself and the other groups. But yeah. So I'm glad it was that easy. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get back to the paper and pen and let's close this out. We are back. And we had a time. We had a time. Um, looks like I didn't account for every cent in my budget. It was clearly a oversight. Yeah, but we're gonna have a plan, or we have a plan to just move that on to our May budget, and then we'll be good. So it has a place, even though it didn't have a place in the budget that the money was made in. It has one going forward. So for the amount that I brought in, it was $4,333. For the giving category, it was $398. Savings, 0. Housing, there was no changes with the housing, so that was $962. For insurance, there was no changes with that, so that's $344. For lifestyle, there was no changes to that, so that was $236. For debt, so we did have a little bit more to debt. So we had our credit cards, which was 98, 294. We have our student loans at 74, and then we have our car at 228. We also have our miscellaneous, which was the total amount of the 128. And then lastly, we have our maybe it was 129. Yeah, 129. Sorry, because the $29 from the credit card number 3 went into the miscellaneous and was spent from there. So 129, 98, 94, 200, 228. I hope I did that right. Let me do that all over again. Credit cards, 98, 94, 200. Student loans, car, 129 miscellaneous, and 460 was the extra debt. So that is $1,283. For the envelope system, it was 520. And then for sinking funds, it was 583. That includes the sinking fund categories as well as the checking buffer. Okay, so before we proceed, we're just going to make sure that all equals the right amount, because we don't want to do all of that math and it's not. Okay, so we have 398, 962, 236, 520, 344, 1283, 583. Oh, and I did it again. We did it again. So we had to pause. Would pause because I needed to verify the sinking funds. Okay, so it's going to be 590. Okay, that includes what went into the actual sinking funds, the checking buffer, and that rollover of $7. Okay, and or yeah, the rollover. So let me just make sure that I have the right amount, that it totals what I brought in, and it does. So we're good with that. So then for the giving category, it's 9. This is 0. Housing is 22. Insurance is 8. Lifestyle is 5. And the reason why they're going down is because for housing, insurance, and lifestyle, the amounts didn't change from what I budgeted and what I actually spent in each category, but the income did increase. Okay, for debt, it was actually 30%. For the envelope system, it's 12, and so it still was the same amount. So how much I allocated to the envelope system in the budget versus the budget was the same compared to what I brought in. So that was good. For sinking funds, this is actually went up just a little to 14. So let's just make sure 9, 22, 5, 12, 8, 30, and 14. All right. So yeah. 10, yeah. So this just was no change here because it only went up just a little bit compared to how much more I brought in and where it was allocated, which was more to debt, which is what we wanted. So that was good. So yeah, that is it, y'all. We are done. When it comes to the goals, let's see. I was trying to see. Oh, it's right here. We have met them. So I already told you I filed and paid taxes, and I actually was able to allocate the $460 to debt. So that was good. It was more than what I expected. It wasn't as much in previous month, but it was something, okay? And every dollar counts. And I'm happy about that. So on to the next month. All right, y'all. In the meantime, in between time, peace.